Welcome back to 2HBPlay, where we build and play board games in Minecraft. I am Don, motherfucking Bronson, and my accomplice is Gieto.
Hey.
And what the hell? Where are we? Where did you go?
I fell. I always fall.
The story of your life.
Well, I was. Oh wait,
I got a pretty good view of the Bronson palace.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to call it.
The Taj Bronson. And
whoa!
Here's the toy factory.
So I'm pretty jealous of this building. Yeah.
Well,
we got to build more things diagonally because you can kind of do some really cool stuff with it. If you look at it this way, it doesn't spell anything. Interesting. And this way, I-O.
Old Gieto had a farm.
Yeah, so we finished Gieto's.
Call it my toy shop.
Yeah, I was about to call it a hospital for some reason. Probably because you die a lot.
Oh, that's completely different. Completely different series. They do.
Yeah, we got Gieto's Toy Factory.
Yeah.
Where
all the dildos are made.
Really, he doesn't have a lot of employees at the moment. Or furniture.
No. Yeah, we're moving out. I'm tired of this old thing already.
All right, well let's go look at Battleship. We got one little update there. Which it's in this direction, I believe.
I'm coming. That's what she said.
Oh shit! I'd like zoom right past you.
You probably should have stayed in the lead. I have no idea where I'm going.
Are you going the right direction? Just keep going that way. There it is.
Where? Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, it doesn't load quite as. Yeah, there it is.
All right, so the only update here really is the placement of the missiles, the ships and hits and all that. We put it to the top because the TNT over here on the side kept blowing it off the thing, which I'd like to have it over there. We might, maybe, I don't know. I don't like this dead space over here.
One more update. You forgot.
What?
I kicked your ass last time we played this. Thought you'd like to remember that, you know.
No, I really don't. I had a headache and
what are you, my wife?
And we're here at Settlers of Catan.
Nice little pretty island.
2HBPlay style.
Alright. So, for those, you got a little aerial view. Been on the sauce, man. I can't help it.
We got a little alien view here.
Okay, yeah, there you go. Surprisingly, I would think a lot more people know how to play Settlers of Catan than I would have originally thought. Doing a little research would show that apparently this is the highest selling board game ever.
Yep.
Which, you know, easily would have thought it'd been Monopoly or something like that, but, you know, no, this is it. So I'm going to assume a lot more people know how to play this than I would have originally thought, but for those who don't, we'll kind of do a quick little run through. Just
to interrupt, the Enderman right here looks like he's smoking a cigarette. You go, Enderman. All right.
He never follows the rules. He's a bad boy.
He probably stole that cigarette too.
So basic start of the game, you would get 2 settlements to place down and a few items that you would start with, like some of these things that you would produce, and you would come down here to the little Enderman to start your turn and come hit the button. rolling dice. Pretty simple.
It's exactly like our Monopoly setup. So this is 7. So.
Oh, well, that's a bad way to start it.
So, as Gietta was saying, with the when you start the game, you get your 2 settlements, which is represented by these victory points, because each settlement is 1 victory point. And you would place your settlements anywhere on the map, anywhere where the half slabs are.
Yeah.
And our settlements over here. So for your starting settlements, I'm going to use blue to represent settlements, and then you would have 3 roads. So say I wanted to place a settlement here, here, and let's say I wanted to place one here. Those are my 2 settlements, and then I would do my roads. I would place a road like this. Like this, like this. Now I can even do this, like this way. That would be my 3 roads. This is a kind of like a little strategy that you can use to block off anybody from getting a settlement here. Because after you place down your first couple of settlements in the beginning of the game, all of your other settlements have to be connected to a road. So this is kind of like a little strategy. You can block people from getting stuff like that. But that's kind of what a starting layout might look like.
Yes, tell me all your secrets, so I will destroy you so much more swiftly. But once you have your initial settlements, and it is important to note when you're putting those settlements there, it's for a very specific purpose. So choose wisely. When you roll the dice, as you can see above your settlements here, on the corners, let's say, where did you build your little house? Right here?
Yeah.
Okay. So if an 11 was rolled and you've got a settlement here next to it, you would be able to get some grain. And then there's another 11 to say if I had a settlement over here by this little sheep farm,
Yeah.
I would be able to get some wool.
Which is important to note also that I have 2 settlements next to the grain, which means I would get 2 resources.
Yes.
I would get 2 grain. And also from the beginning of the game, I have placed 2 settlements here. I would get grain. To start off, I would get grain. Well, you only get resources for the first settlement you put down. Your second one, you don't get any. But so if I say this was my first settlement, I would get grain, clay, and ore, and that would be my 3 starting resources.
It's a very, very, very good starting hand.
Yeah.
Why don't you show off actually what all the different resources are real quick?
Oh yeah. So we got grain represented by wheat. We use the hay bales here in the middle, different ways. Look like, this is the end product being shipped out by the
traders
or whatever. Yeah. Here you got your ore, little ore mine. Put the redstone. I put a redstone track in there so that in case if it gets in there,
so it
comes back out. But yeah, just then you have your forge or your smelter, and then you have the anvil, and then you have the iron blocks to represent the end product. Here we got clay. Get your clay bricks and your clay pots. Got your stained clay. This is red sand, but it's the same color, so I wanted to use it. So you got your bricks and your.
So we used it. So back off already.
So you got your bricks, which we would say this and this would be the end product, but your pallet. I kind of made it look like a pallet. Same with the wool. Your pallet of wool. All your sheep. They are really infatuated with this side of the thing over here. And then you have your little forest with a couple of down trees. It's not as factory looking as the other ones, but so these are probably the most random ones because I actually built the tree in the middle to represent the center. All the other trees I just planted. The fallen logs I put in the same spot in each one, but all the trees I just kind of grew in random spots. But yeah, that's all the different resources.
Which you will use those resources. You'll start out the game, set your settlements up, roll your dice, get your resources, and if you come over to this board here, this will tell you what they are all used for.
Yeah. So right here you got your roads. It takes a brick and lumber. Here you have development cards, which are pretty good. They do different things. They cost grain or wool. Settlements, brick, lumber, grain, wool, and cities, grain, or. And the settlements are, if I was to demonstrate that, take a city out, and I wanted to upgrade this settlement to a city. All I would do is take this city off and take the settlement off, place a city. And you can see we got the beam from the what's it called? What's the thing called?
It's a power-up.
It's the
beacon is the beacon.
Holy crap.
You ever played Minecraft before? It's kind of cool.
Yeah. And also it's important to note that there are limited settlements and there are limited cities and roads. The cities and settlements are interchangeable. Like once you get to a city, you're not gonna remove it for any reason.
I mean, if you just wanted to lose that bed, I guess you could.
I guess you could, but that would be just counterproductive, and I don't see anybody ever doing that.
Yeah. Which the settlements are worth 1 point. Once you place a city down, it's worth 2.
Right.
And it's also another reason to do it, other than just the points, is it doubles the resources you get where you have it at. So let's say you've got your city here next to all these things, and you know you're gonna get twice the production to get you twice the material to get your cards out faster.
Right.
So
what you would do is once you upgrade from a settlement to a city, you would take your settlement and place it back in here. You don't want to get rid of it because you have limited settlements. If I just build nothing but settlements, I could only build 4. The only way I could build another settlement is if I upgraded to a city. That would give me 1 more settlement token to place on the board to a connected road. The roads, on the other hand, are limited, period. There's 15 roads, and so once I've placed, for instance, once I've placed the 3 roads to start with, there'd be 12 roads left. I would actually get rid of these. So just to demonstrate, I just throw them down in the ocean, or you can go over to the smelters. You can throw them in the lava there to destroy them, because you don't want to. That's a limited pool, and you're in a creative mode when you're playing, so you can't.
Yeah, it doesn't actually get rid of.
Yeah, when you place them down, you can't get rid of them. So
also, once you've rolled your dice and you know what resources you're getting, this is where you'll come to, and those are also limited by the amount of cards in the game, actually. So
yeah, and if you notice, these are all these resources are 9, and these resources are 10, 9, 10, 9, 10. The reason for that is with the original game, you have 19 of these 3 resources, and you have 18 of these 2. So don't ask me, I don't know why they did it like that, but they did.
So once your turn starts, you would roll your dice, you would get your number, and you would collect your resources. Once you have your resources, the next step in the game would be to trade, which you can do with other players. You know, which if you're playing with just 2 people, good luck with that. Doesn't work out too well. So
Yeah.
there are backup things you can do though if you're having a hard time trading, which they are not actually on the board at the time, but you know, you can explain how that's going to work.
Yeah, so these are harbors. You'll notice that they're connected to a plot. So there's 2 plots to each harbor. There is a boat that'll be in the water here, and the sail will actually have what resource you can trade for how much. So over here, there's one.
I think the harbors kind of match what's over here too, don't they? Like this, let's say if you're over here by the wool.
Not necessarily, because the actual Catan board, or the way they're making the Catan boards lately, is you can randomize all these positions.
Oh, okay, okay.
This is just how the original board is set up.
Okay.
So that's how I set these up. So these could be randomizable. That could be something I could figure out how to do later by, you know, using cloning, and you can make your own Catan board. That's something I might explore later. But for now, it'll be set up like this, and each harbor will be. Well, that's a harbor, and then you would have your boat next to it, and the sail will have what resource for how much. And like for instance, there's a harbor that has 2-for-1 wood, so you can trade in 2 wood for any 1 resource in the bank.
Which on an average trade, if normally in the game it requires you have to turn in 4 of a certain resource to get 1 of any particular one that you want. So there are extreme benefits. Let's say if you've got a settlement right in the middle and it's producing a lot of wood for you, and you have a settlement there at the harbor, so you can trade in much faster, trading in 2 lumbers for whatever you want. But you also run the risk here of putting a settlement on the edge of the board. You lessen the amount of resources that you get too, so there is a bit of a trade-off you got to kind of play around with.
Yeah, and the benefit ultimately winds up you being self-sustainable. You don't have to worry about trying to trade with other players. You can use your own resource to get what you want. Like you said, by default, you trade in 4 to get 1 resource with no harbors at all. So.
And once you're done trading and everything, and you've gotten all your resources, usually the last thing in the turn is to build whatever it is that you feel like building, pretty much.
Yeah, so if you have the resources to build, to buy what you want, you would come over here.
You'd either get your roads, your development cards, your settlements, or your cities.
Yeah, and you just take the resources, put them into the resource card hopper right here, and go in the chest or hit the development card hopper and get your card, do what it says. Most cards you're going to keep. There's 6 cards that you discard. You know, they're like one-time use things.
Which, when you'll see this, we'll do a playthrough and kind of show how everything works on the board, in case you're having trouble following. But this chest is full of every card that is in the game. Which right now you can't. You can hit this button and nothing's going to happen.
Yeah.
You have to actually hit the switch on, and it will randomize and shuffle into this dispenser to give you your cards. So.
Yep. And then so.
In which these cards do different things. Some of them are just, I think, like flat out points. You know, you play the card and get your victory point.
Yeah.
Some of them have the knights for, there's other things that help you win. The longest road and the biggest army.
Yeah, the knights let you move the robber around.
Yes, they're pretty nice.
Yeah. There's some cards that allow you to steal resources from another player. The robber lets you steal resources from another player. And speaking of the robber, we did roll a 7.
Yeah.
In the beginning.
So technically, the robber would already be in play.
Yeah. So what you would do is, let's say I rolled a 7, and let's say Gietto is over here by the ore, wood, and clay, and I don't want him to have any more ore. He's getting too overpowered with ore. He's doing too many things with it. Now I come over here to this withered skeleton skull, hit this button.
Oh, my ore's gone.
Yeah, he can no longer he can no longer get ore from this robber location.
And the robber does not move until another 7 is rolled or something happens
Or
to
a night.
yeah,
Or a night, yeah.
to forcibly move him somewhere else. So if your ore is your main thing you got going, the robber sucks. Also, when you place the robber, you get to steal a card from one of the other players.
Yep.
Or the player who you're blocking off, isn't it, right?
If you place the robber, if you had a settlement here, say we were playing with a full game, had 2 other people playing with us, if they had a settlement there, you had a settlement here, and somebody else had a settlement here, and I placed the robber right here, I would get to choose who I would want to steal a resource from.
But it blocks the resource from everybody.
It also blocks the resource from all settlements on this location.
So, the robber sucks, but he's also your friend as long as he's not screwing you over.
Yep.
So.
If you roll a 7 on your turn, you get to move the robber. If you use a knight, you get to move the robber, and you would come over here. You would erase the robber with the Steve button.
Magic.
And then you know, set the robber somewhere else, like right here, for instance, like that. Pretty easy.
Yep. All about easy. Like my wife. We should.
Edit that
I shouldn't have said that out. Okay. And that's pretty much the basics. You know, there's little tweaks here and there, but like I said, we'll be playing this and showing everything off. So.
Yeah, with our other games we played, it was just me and Giotto, but we feel that for this game, we want a full game. We want full players.
Well,
because it's really interesting when you get a lot of players on the board and they have a lot of different areas sewn up. It's easy to get trapped in corners if you don't have if you're not very strategic in the beginning. You know, it's easy to get locked in a corner with multiple players, so it makes it interesting. You kind of have to
watching where they're building their roads and everything. Also, trading is much easier too. You know, if it's just 2 people on here and you know that, you know, I'm only a piece of clay away from building a city, and you're producing all the clay, even though you need the sheep that I've got, and you're probably not going to give it to me because, you know, it doesn't really help you at the moment. So
you can kind of band together against players. If there's a player that's kind of taking the lead, then you can kind of, you know, band together if you need to, temporarily. But it's much more balanced if you play with a full game.
Yeah. Having a full 4 people or so makes the game much more interesting, I believe.
But we're gonna try to get. We've got 2 friends that we could probably get in the game.
Some special guests.
Special
hillbillies.
We might try to maybe get some more special guests on playing these games, and you know, we're a small YouTube channel right now. We're trying to get our views up. We're trying to get our subscriptions up. Mainly just to, you know, get a lot of people downloading this world and having fun with it, you know.
Yeah, well, like I said, when we started, I think we said it in maybe our first video or something, it was a lot of fun, you know. When growing up, we always used to get together and play games and stuff with all our friends and hang out and socialize and everything. And, you know, everybody likes to say that technology, you know, everybody's antisocial, but honestly, you're more social, really. There's more ways to get things out there and see what everybody's doing and interact with people. It's just, you know, so why not do this and give everybody somewhere to interact with? And
and you can actually run around on the game boards and stuff, and, you know, like we did on Monopoly. That was pretty fun, just being able to run across the board instead of just moving a pawn. It's kind of neat.
Yeah, well, going to jail is a lot more interesting now too. So.
And I'm not super knowledgeable about redstone. I do understand it, and you know, if I need to make some kind of circuit, I do my research and figure out how to make the redstone work. But this whole project has really made me further my knowledge on redstone and command blocks. I didn't know how to clone until I made this map. I had to figure out a way to get the robber to work, and the command blocks and cloning tool was really the only way I could see it working, and so I figured out how to do that. Watched some videos, watched some Seth Bling videos. Actually, he's like a command block genius. I guess it helped that he used to work for Microsoft too, so
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, his videos really helped me out in getting this set up.
Yeah, we played this in vanilla to push the limits. You know, I mean, you can get in a mod pack and get away with pretty much anything. So
you get wireless redstone. It makes everything super easy. But the challenge of using vanilla Minecraft, which everybody, you know, if you want Minecraft, you have access to Minecraft.
Yeah.
You just buy the game and play it. You don't have to do any mods. And
well,
this game is
for all the people
available
stuck
to anybody if you do it this way.
Well, you got the people on the PlayStation and the Xbox and everything. You know, they don't have all the mods.
They couldn't download the mod,
so
they couldn't download the map from us, but they could easily recreate it if they needed to.
Yeah, that's why we built it in vanilla, to show that, you know, whatever's available for all.
It can be done.
But so yeah, I mean, anything, you know, let us know what you think. Leave a comment, good or bad. You know, you can't grow without what's the word? Feedback.
Oh yeah, need feedback. We need to know if this is interesting. I mean, we sure as hell think it's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why we're doing it, and we think there's other people out there that would think this is pretty cool too. So we'd like to hear from you guys, and let us know.
Yeah. So hit the like, hit the subscribe, leave us a comment. Like I said, best thing to do, leave us a game. You know, if you and your buddies got a game that y'all play a ton of, and something you think would be cool to, you know, see on here, let us know. We'll see what we can do. We'll look it up
and see if we can make it.
Yep.
I'm always up for a challenge. This was a pretty good challenge already. I'm ready for another one.
Yeah. I think the next game will probably be like a two-part. I think we're going to build a little more simpler games that we can run through.
Yeah.
But we'll leave that on hush hush till next time. But till then, I am Gieto. You know, just remember this picture for the future. just saying.
Oh, the orange wind?
Just
you think
saying.
so?
Remember that.
And I'm Don Bronson, and remember this picture. I'm just gonna block you out.
Oh.
There you go. Remember that. And watch us. We'll get B-Bar special guest, which would be cool. I'll be fine with that as long as you don't win.
No, I'm not gonna let anybody win. I don't care how special they are.
Well, you guys, well,
see ya. See you next time when we play.
Yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.